Capricorn, Capricorn sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Capricorns starting today, the 20th of December, 2024. This is Ariel, and today I'm reading with this Keymaster Tarot. And I've already purified with some Florida water, and you can find links to purchase each of these products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. Let's see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Capricorns. Starting off with the Nine of Coins, the Hanged Man, and the Five of Cups. Okay, I like the Nine of Coins. I don't mind the Hanged Man. I don't love the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is something that can be avoided. It's not something that's happening, but it's something that you're headed toward. And the reason why I think you might be headed toward this tends to be emotional conflict, internal strife, depression, anxiety, that kind of thing. And I think the reason why that's happening is because some of you are starting to feel put upon by this world. Feel like you're not appreciated. Maybe feel like you're overburdened. Maybe you're starting to feel defeated and having that defeatist sort of fatalistic attitude. All life is suffering. There's no hope. Why bother? And be careful of that attitude, because what this Hanged Man, the mystery of this Hanged Man is that when you're experiencing that, first of all, you don't want to. There's no reason to deny those feelings or say, no, that's not okay to feel that way. Of course, you can feel that way. And you have to go through what you're going through. But you also have the ability to turn it around and realize that that's only one way of looking at things. The other way of looking at things is maybe it's time for you to take a stand. Maybe it's time for you to put your foot down. Maybe it's time for you, Capricorn, to say no. No, I don't. You don't have to take it, and you're so good at saying no. I'm surprised that this is a thing for you. Maybe you're getting this idea that it's more spiritual to suffer or something like that. It's not. Put your foot down. Say no. Say no when you mean no. It's okay to do that. You know that. You do it all the time. So be the Capricorn that you are. Oh, is this saying, do I have the wrong? Oh, well. So anyway, Capricorn, this is your job over the next couple weeks, is to say no when you mean no, and yes when you mean yes, and not to put up with it anymore, not to put up with anything that you don't like anymore. And that's your power. And that's one of your superpowers anyway, Capricorn, is learning how to say no and pruning things. Getting rid of the stuff that doesn't work for you. Maybe there's some relationships you need to prune. Maybe there's some ways of being that people are exhibiting with you that you've been putting up with that it's time for you to say no to, right? So this Nine of Coins is saying your magnetism is high for all of your good, especially financially and all of that stuff. You don't want to spoil all of that by hanging out in this sort of limbo where you don't feel like you have a voice, where you don't have the power to say no, and not where you don't have the power to take a stand about something, where you just have to sit back and take it. You do not. So let's turn that around right away. And I apologize if this has got the wrong title on it. I don't know what's going on. I'll fix it post. Okay. King of Wands, Seven of Cups, Ace of Coins. Well, that's better. See, when you are true to yourself, Capricorn, which you're so good at naturally, so just be yourself. When you're true to yourself and you have the ability to say no to the people and situations that you don't like, what you understand then is this is you talking. I'm a master of whatever my chosen work is. And that's what you are. You are a master of your chosen work. This King of Wands is a wonderful Capricorn card. I know that it's not technically, if you follow all of the the elements and stuff like that. I know that the Wands isn't technically an earth card, but it is a work card. It is an industry card, and you're the king of industry. You're the king of work. You are up there on the 10th house, and you're so good at it. So celebrate that and allow the all of this inner conflict that you're happening, that may be happening for you or trying to happen to you. Allow that to turn itself around. Allow there to be an upgrade in the way that you're dealing with the world, and allow that to include this sacred power of no. My sacred power of no. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Now, you can say no, thank you, if you want to be polite, but no is its own sentence. And when you use that sacred power of no, you release all of your natural abilities. And one of these natural abilities is this Ace of Coins. It's the ability for you to make some money and to do well. And it looks like you are doing well in your work, and you are doing well, or potentially doing really well financially. So I know that money and work isn't everything, but you can use those as catalysts to turn around some of this emotional discord that seems like it's wanting to come in, because it's not you're not fated to be depressed. It's just not the universe's will for you to be depressed and upset and feeling like you don't have any power. You don't want to feel powerless. Of all people, you're not powerless. I mean, you have so much power, Capricorn. You're amazing at what you're capable of doing. And this self-image that some of you are going through right now, all you have to do is say, I'm willing to see it differently. I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see that I've been looking at the world upside down, and now I'm going to look at the world right side up again. I'm taking back my power. I'm taking a stand. I'm saying no when I mean no, and yes when I mean yes. And let's get back to work. Let's get this going. We've got lots to accomplish here. I've got lots of money to make. I've got a lot of career to do. I've got all kinds of good stuff going on in my life, and let that color your emotions, not whatever this is. And eventually, and I know that it may not always be appropriate to avoid, your emotions and then just go for your work and go for all of that. But in this case, it is appropriate, because a lot of what's going on emotionally is you misperceiving who you are. And right now, it's important for you to have that self-esteem be at its height. And the way you do that is by looking first at what your strengths are. And right now, your strengths are work and finances and all of that kind of stuff. Even if it's not all going perfectly for you, you're good at it. You're good at what you're good at. So lean into what you're good at. Say no to everything that's bothering you right now, and the people that are bothering you, and even give some people a timeout if you need to. It's okay to not speak to some people for a while if you need to. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It means that they're bugging you and they need to stop it. And when you give somebody a timeout, you're doing it out of love. But first and foremost, you're doing it out of love for yourself and respect for yourself. And then you're doing it out of love for them, because it doesn't behoove them. If it's causing you distress, it's causing them distress too on some level. So it's not good for anybody, but you're the one in power. And so you're the one that has to put your foot down. You're the one that has to take the stand. You can't expect it to happen for you. But when you do that, then the floodgates open back up again, and you get back busy. Now, if you're still feeling emotionally conflicted, obviously you've got to go through what you got to go through. And sometimes it's good to go talk to somebody. If you can't work through those feelings on your own, it's okay to have a friend or a therapist or a clergy member, somebody that you can, a confidant that you can really talk this stuff out with if you need to. But first and foremost, you have to take a stand. You have to take the stand. You can't expect that it's going to happen for you, because people aren't like that. People aren't wired that way to say, oh, I bet Capricorn needs Capricorn space. No, you have to claim your space if you need space. If you need somebody to leave you alone, you have to claim that. You can do it in a polite way, but you have to do it. You can't expect it to be done for you. So if you need a timeout yourself, you give yourself a timeout. If you need some timeout from other people, you give them a timeout. If you need to stop engaging in certain things right now, you stop engaging in certain things right now. You have the power to say no. You do not have to just sit back and take it. That's not what turning the other cheek means. Turning the other cheek doesn't mean, yes, sir, please, sir, I'd like some more. Turning the other cheek is a completely different topic that doesn't have anything to do with this. So if you think that somehow it's more spiritual to allow things to just happen that you don't want to happen, that's not true. What's spiritual is turning that around and taking a stand and saying no. And really, really owning that. And if you need to cut everybody out for a couple days, do it. Do it. Right? If you have all the power to say no when you mean no, and yes when you mean yes, and nobody gets to choose for you. Nobody gets to choose for you. You choose for you. And you know exactly what you want. But somehow you got caught up in this idea that, I don't know, maybe you thought you were being more spiritual, or maybe you thought that, I don't know why you're doing this, because it's not super in character for you to do this, but you're not doing it anymore. You're just going to say no when you mean no. Get back to basics here. Get back to Capricorn basics. Be yourself. You're exactly the way you're supposed to be. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about yourself. You do you, and if they don't like it, they can shove it. Right? And that's how you can protect yourself from so much of this emotional conflict that comes from allowing people to just run amok in your life. You're not doing that anymore. And you're going to do great. You're doing really, really well. This is just a little bit of an anomaly for you. And I think you just need to have a little support and encouragement that it's okay to be yourself, and it's okay to put your foot down when you need to. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I so appreciate you, and we will see you in 2 weeks for another reading, Capricorn. Until then, blessed be.